Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are.
Yeah, fema, ye wo London. Ya jia basobodie bebre. Ni ya redare ewo mransemu. Eye legal services, BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nyeden kra. Yen partner penimpa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care, eye abofrahwe mu, awaregya ye ho twema mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a, ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care, any family team no nim nia wo famu ewe ni ya wo brei mu. Enu nti ne yeto ye mbo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner Ayobia Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu no sanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a unni haw kra. Upe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Yen senior partner eye member na wasa ginatum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se ye taiwachi a wunni haw kra. Ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pe mu ekosi enumre nonsia eye 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM. Ena memene danso eye appointment nkoa free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yewo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nso a eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advising local authorities, official solicitors office ni solicitors bebre efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.
Admitted to the crime, NOCO is guilty of the charges to conspiracy to commit crime and stealing. Court presided over by Samuel Bright Aqua. Wono at the fair ruling no say obemani ruling initially no na oye ade ni bi odwane ye nso amochi Emma or confess yes I ade na we bia no eyampa na omo.
Ebusia time check now is 5 minutes past the hour of 9. Send me catcher will know any BWF Solicitors ebetwitwin komo.
Turn my pits.
Lawyer Eunice atena sinti we the main say ho enchemere ense adaje kra yenko ne nkoma na wakwaba emba ye fidie kesi so Good morning, lawyer.
Good morning, Dr. Ren. Patron, what to saying?
Nyame ada Roma ni ahwe yi. Net saying ebusuafo ho te saying.
Ah, Bia Huye, Yamia Drum, Bia Huye. Na Patron won't say.
Nyame ada Roma. Na me Roma. Ye nyina ye ho ye.
Yeda
Lawyer,
Yamia say.
we dey ye mo akwa aba kese papa. Ene na wa pono so a wo dey maye. Etiefu aye krado. Ede ne me kan kire etiefu say me the phone lines no numbers no beto dwa. 20 minutes past wetimi afre. Send the eja lawyer that time na eja nyame ayadom ne bia questions ni answers right and ye bekum ya komu tentem send the amanfo ebenya adaji cause na no na amanfo ka say the course omo frɛ ya na emre ni swa me say mo ya mo smo friend tem eti ne numbers mo amunim dada 020813344646 0208133134 WhatsApp lines is 07771950 989 lawyer wey dey mamu akwa abai ene dey ene da pono so
Nti mame ndi kan enchia yetiefoɔ mo kɔfa mo tie wɔ tuning app no so nkɔfa mo tie wɔ Rainbow Radio FM station no so nkɔfa a mo hwɛn wɔ Facebook live anaasɛ YouTube so yɛkyia mo nyinaa yɛda nyame ase sɛ ndɛ dɛ mu abɛka yɛn nsa Bumpire Semuninamuye. As we always do, into Yabesha say with your topic na your view phone lines not at all, na your view with updates via your war in regards to your immigration and STEM. And so we share your topic na and Dr. Ren is about Unconform UK Umukra EU limited leave to remain. How are to me any omumbano about UK Chrome ha nti sɛ wobɛhwɛ a yɛn bra no ɛsesa time na UK kaa sɛ ɔmo free EU no mu nti
mhm
yɛhu sɛ amanfoɔ ate bebree sɛ na government no de nhyehyɛeɛ ɛreto hɔ ama EU foɔ ne wɔn abusuafoɔ a wɔte UK kurom ha. Nti the UK and the EU came to some agreements. Wɔn frɛ no the EU withdrawal agreement. And since 2019 no, ɛna government no de saa EU settlement scheme ɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ wɔn ɛbɛma EU nkurɔfoɔ a wɔte kurom ha ahyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔmogye some sort of legal status sɛnea ɔmobɛtumi ada so atena kurom ha without having EU law binding them. Nti ɛno no saa no yɛ EU settlement scheme no hyɛ aseɛ. Nti most people a ɔmotee sɛ sɛ ɔmoyɛ saa EU settlement scheme no ɔmoyɛyɛ sisi a ɔmoanya ɔmo limited leave to remain anaasɛ ɔmoanya ɔmo settlement. Nti sɛ wobɛhwɛ a most people ɔmo kora residence card anaasɛ permanent residence card no yɛbɔ nkurɔfoɔ amanneɛ sɛ wokora card no na wonyɛ wo EU settlement scheme a card na wokura no is not valid. Nti kye sɛ woayɛ EU settlement scheme agye wo limited leave to remain anaasɛ woagye wo settlement which is your indefinite leave to remain ansa na wobɛka sɛ at least woanya asetena wɔ kurom ha because card no would no longer have been valid after EU for no yɛayɛ separation anaasɛ yɛfiri mu no. Nti this occurred in January of 2020. Nti yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛ UK sisi a we are independent from the EU because yɛne EU no mu biom. But when it comes to the law in regards to your EU nationals, any ɔmo ebusuafo a wɔte kurom ha anaasɛ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn retain ɔmo rights as part of EU law no, ɔmo nyinaa because they came under the EU treaties that were agreed no, sisi a Britain aka sɛ EU law is no longer binding nti ɛsɛ mo bɛhyɛ yɛ British law n'ase nti na EU settlement scheme no ɛyɛ the way that the British people have said sɛ ɔmo betumi a remain in the UK if they are able to apply to the EU settlement scheme. And see, we are looking at how some from EU for Amobetna UK Chrome Hub before 31st December 2020. No, Omobetumi Edne Omumbano, a free Ghana, Abetna a Chrome ha because you name say government can say from 31st December no to me and for extended family members and ba and de ba 30th of June 2020 sɛ ɔmo ɛgya EA family permits nyinaa nti na nkurɔfoɔ ɛdwen sɛ there will no longer be any means by which EU foɔ no will be able to bring ɔmo direct family members. But Yamia Yadom, they have said within Appendix EU, any Appendix EU family permit say, Omo betumi adaso ama Omo family members aba as long as they were living here before 31st December 2020. And see, that is what we are going to be looking at today, Dr. Ren.
Yo, wait there, lawyer, you better was a papa. Now, question edin kan edi ma member modiana membusa. Say a kwan ben so and will be ewo UK ha. Obetumi abomodia ede ne ba aba. For instance, with the main kind of bro for number I'm can I bring my child to the UK if I have limited leave to remain under the EU settlement scheme? And obetumi ede ne ba aba. Abra wo EU settlement scheme na se.
Of course, nti sɛnya mbra no ɛteɛ no sɛ woyɛ EU ni a wote kurom ha nti mɛka EU for at the moment nti EU ni a wokura EU passport, whether it's Spanish, Belgium, French, whatever EU country you're from, sɛ wote UK kurom ha ɛna wobɛtena hanom before 31st December 2020 deɛ a mmara no a ɛhyɛ hɔ anaasɛ wɔde atoto hɔ no kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ EU ni a na ɛsɛ woyɛ application onto the EU settlement scheme. Sɛ woatumi ayɛ saa application no di a, then it means sɛ wowɔ right sɛ wobɛtumi atena kurom ha, wobɛtumi ayɛ adwuma, wobɛtumi ayɛ biribi biara a na woyɛ before. Nti ɛno no saa no, sɛ wose woayɛ saa EU settlement scheme no bi, wɔbɛbisa wo sɛ how long na woatena kurom ha? Woatena hanom more than 5 years and I say less than 5 years. Nti sɛ woatena kurom hanom less than 5 years a ɔmo bɛma wo biribi a yɛfrɛ no limited leave to remain anaasɛ pre-settled status. Nti wo EU no wo nsa bɛka saa pre-settled status anaasɛ limited leave to remain sɛ woatena ha less than 5 years. Sɛ woatena ha 5 years or more deɛ a ɔmo bɛma wo settlement anaasɛ indefinite leave to remain. But yɛhwɛ specifically for today nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmonya saa limited leave to remain a ɔmoyɛ EU foɔ a ɔmote UK kurom ha. Nti ɔmo no saa no sɛ ɔmo kura saa pre-settled status anaasɛ limited leave to remain deɛ a na ɔmo nso ɔmo betumi ayɛ saa application ama ɔmo joining family members nti yɛ EU Appendix EU na ɔmo ahyehyɛ no ɔmo say sɛ woyɛ application ne deɛ a woyɛ ama wo joining family member nti of course sɛ wowɔ obi a ɔyɛ wo yere wo kunu wo ba wo mother father wo nana ɔmo nyinaa ɛyɛ family members under yɛ Appendix EU nti wobɛtumi ɛne ɔmo aba kurom ha as long as you have applied onto saa EU settlement scheme no.
Yo, lawyer. Now, obi busa say under sa appendix EU immigration rules no. Akora ben wo sa sa appendix EU no ase. Under that appendix EU immigration rules.
Yeah.
Mofra ben no mo sha ase.
It's Ubesha previously before yede ye EU for no eba ye immigration rules na se no under EU regulations no na akola ebetumi aye wo direct family member either under the age of 21 and I say above the age of 21 and I say wa adopt akola na and also sa no no ebeba under regulation 8 of your previous regulations 2016 and 2006. But since so they've been more generous under Appendix EU family permits. Almost say akola over friend no say ebia oye woba akola ebia wedi under 21 into oye wo direct descendant of free one kasa ho anase wo kunu a waware no anase wo yere a waware no omoba no wo direct descendant either say akola no under the age of 21 anase akola no akola wedi 21-year-old child anase more than 21 into sa akola na wedi more than 21 no or your dependent child into or depending on so usually a chrome how we can say I collect the 18 na or nakasa ye penny British immigration rules ne is totally different. Say British ni ekofa ne baba almost say so we did 18 na why any penny on ya collabio. But under your EU law no and I say under your appendix EU no a colano can be over the age of 21 and still be your dependent child. So that is the good thing about the EU law. No? So that dependent child will have to show say or that's so dependent on ne mommy and answer ne papa. And I say betumi ayɛ akwala a mo adopt no nse awofo no ebia omo adopt sa akwala no na akwala no abɛyɛ omo ba. Yɛfrɛ biribi so surrogacy nti ebi so etumi ma obi wo ma omo nti that is also another way of saying say saa nipa no ɛyɛ wo ba. And akrampo say court no ama wo some guardianship order and I said child arrangement order and say akwala no so abɛyɛ wo ba. Nti under here appendix EU law no they have all these categories of children in say no sano it doesn't limit it to a specific age per se which makes it broad enough for EU for no to bring omumbano to the UK. Yeah.
And who care about it doesn't limit it to a specific age, no. I mean, jump question, but I mean, for age we in brave. It knows so who can say it doesn't limit to any specific age. And then says, will be what a friend is saying. Does it really matter if a child is over 21 years? Because you're 30, so maybe 18 years. I mean, to me, confining about yes, you are a crum had a crown when you're 18 years and above, and to me, confining, but it is
Yeah. It is oh yeah, obi a ukra indefinite under your immigration rules and also ukra British citizenship. So we need the 18 na untumi nkwafa number. But so we EU need there ubetumi akwafa number. So that's the difference. Yes. That's the difference. EU has more advantage over Obi or your British and also bro cry indefinite under your immigration rules. That is the difference. It's EU, you know. So nobody did 19, 20, 21, 30, 40, or still now wait to me never. Yes. Into almost say akwala no edi more than 21 a dependent child into sa dependent child no so kyerɛ sɛ so dependent on the parents so share definition of dependency under your appendix EU family permit I say dependency no kyerɛ sɛ saa nipa no is relying on ne maame anaasɛ ne papa no so for financial support and I say social support and I say emotional support to meet no essential needs no nti it must be the essential needs whether whole or partly nti essential needs biribi te sɛ aduane a wobɛdi nsuo a wobɛnom ntade a wobɛhyɛ baby a wobɛda those things are seen as essential needs nti sɛ wohia wo maame anaasɛ wo papa mboa in terms of baby a wobɛda because ɔmo tua wo bills ama wo anaasɛ aduane a wobɛdi because ɔmo de sika to wo account mu a ɛno na wode yɛ wo biribiara wode tua wo bills wode yɛ wo biribiara but it doesn't say that it has to be wholly into ɔmo na mo hwɛ wo biribiara ɔse wholly or partly into sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ nkwa sɛ wo parents no are helping you meet wo essential needs wholly or partly there and the woakyerɛ sɛ wo depend on wo maame anaasɛ wo papa because you are above the age of 21 nti obi a wɔdi 21 or above ne deɛ ɛsɛ wotumi enya documents ɛkyerɛ sɛ woyɛ dependent on wo maame anaasɛ wo papa a ɔyɛ EU ni a ɔte kurom ha nti sɛ wowɔ Ghana na wo sɛ me maame ɛhwɛ me na wamfa documents bia ankyerɛ mo sɛ oh me maame anaasɛ me papa ebia almost send me let's say £100 every month £100 so ebia me de tua light bill me de tua water bill ebia me de ɛno nso etua me phone bill ɛno nso saa no me de yɛ transport ɛno nso saa no me de didi me de yɛ say ni say one kyerɛ evidence bi a ɔmo ntumi ngye ndi anaasɛ ɔyɛ shipping nti shipping no ɛho receipt no wode kyerɛ mo sɛ ne shipping na ɔyɛ no ɛho receipt ni ɔde aduane ne ntadeɛ ne nneɛma ɛkeka ho na ɔmode abrɛ me nti shipping receipt no nso nie anaa kora mpo sɛ woka sɛ because me maame ne me papa da bi a ɔmofrɛ me wɔ phone no so nti there's no way a mɛtumi aka sɛ men depending on almost socially nti ebia from time to time mɛfrɛ ɔmo anaasɛ almost every day me text ɔmo nti text no deɛ ɛwɔ whatsapp no so wobɛtumi aprinte anaasɛ wobɛtumi ahyɛ na waprinte sɛ messages no ni a ɛkyerɛ sɛ me ne me maame ne me papa yɛdi nkɔmmɔ ɛwɔ phone no so anaasɛ yɛfrɛ yɛn ho nti yɛdi nkɔmmɔ anaasɛ ɔmo fɛrɛ wɔ so direct a wobɛtumi agye phone call history no ɛfiri wo phone should I say company to be able to get evidence there you are also depending on them socially as well. And as I to me, I say, Omo taba Ghana, in say Omo ba, Omo no Pia, mucha photos, muko restaurants, muko say, in say passports never chese, Omo ta to quine ebaba Ghana no, na more year in Yama together. And see, you can provide all of those things to show, say, this is how you are depending on Omami and I say, oh papa, oh ye EU near or to chrome her. And I say, oh papa crampo awari EU nso so a and also saa no ɔmo betumi ayɛ application no based on saa ekunu and I say a year na ɔyɛ EU ni a ɔte chrome ha.
Yo. We the mamenka will say yene a BWF Solicitors for an edutrin como lawyer Eunice and an opinion miada Roma wabeka and sa yenina a din como. Ti we the message wa umbo who de rabo modiana bo edumedian who de rupa fama a ashefo nyina no monso enhwe eye edumedia ekoso. Lawyer, we the mamimbusa question we will say lawyer. Nipa bena a qualify say obetumi apply a friend is saying me apply what are the requirements that a person has to satisfy when applying from outside the UK? So will be what outside UK now apply requirement ben said no to be fulfilled send you to me satisfy immigration for no to me man akwenya no aba kuruma. The requirement you also
Pachai. In Chroma, when the brand a juma nti say when the brand so unfortunately to member. Nti so obehwa me dey kan ka say when it comes to your EU brand the EU no longer protects us. It's almost the Appendix EU no eba senya EU for nim omo ebusanfo no mo ti UK hanom no omo betumi enya sitna bi atena UK hanom continuously inti yeah Appendix EU ene yeah Appendix EU family permit no mbra na ɔmo ahyehyɛ ama EU for any ɔmo ebusuafo any nkurɔfo a ɔmo nya a ɔmo asetena no under the previous EU regulations no ɛno no a ɛbɔ ɔmo ho ban nti sɛ wobɛhwɛ yɛ Appendix EU family permit which is for let's say family members and I said joining family members a ɔmo free outside of UK no a ɔmo bɛ join saa EU national na ɔte kurom ha no there are certain requirements that have to be met. Inti bako any say sa family member na oba no so oba your application for family permit they should be making a valid application. Inti eno no say sa nimpa no should be making an application based on the online system. Inti obesha your EU applications na it is mostly an online application and then they have to be able to pay the correct fee. But with EU applications, there's no fee. Instead, they don't have to pay anything once the application has been submitted online. And then they also have to submit their biometrics. Into biometrics, nature say, signing panel, wako Accra Visa Center honum, akobon insano, a photo. In some instances, they will have the documents also scanned there because UTR for assisted service now no almost scan it with documents no so honoma. And so that is what also they require in terms of making a valid application. And then last but not least, odo passport ebeko. Into valid passports and your passports are passport a ɛda so ɛwɔ hɔ. That is also one of the things that makes a valid application. Nti sɛ woyɛ application a ɛyɛ sɛ woyɛ no online, ɛyɛ sɛ wobɔ nsa no na wotwa photo na wode wo passport no ɛkɔma wɔn. And then they would look at the fact that wonyɛ obi a woyɛ suitable for refusal. Nti ebi a ɔmo ma wo deportation order da anaasɛ ɔmo ma wo exclusion order da. Deportation orders ɛyɛ for nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo adi bɔne ebi a ɔmo ama ɔmo prison sentence for at least 1 year or more. UK kurom ha ɔmo asɛnde ɔmo back because kɔno na ɔmo di yɛ no ɔmo ma ɔmo prison sentence for at least 12 months or more. Nti saa deportation order nso ɛwɔ ɔmo so anaasɛ exclusion
na kyerɛ
order.
sɛ lawyer metie wie deɛ a yɛwɔ nsonsonoeɛ wɔ deportation ni mu ne wɔn a yɛde wɔn kɔ fie te sɛ bi a amfɔma nkɔ ankɔto cell anaa efia because mpɛmpi no bɛtate o na me wɔ UK deɛ deporte me na me deporte me
nkurɔfoɔ misuse saa deportation no because ɔmo ho na ɛsɛ sɛ yɛde me kɔ me fie deɛ a ɔmo adeport me but ɛnte saa most of the time it's removal. Ɔmo yi wo efiri ɔmo kurom because ebi a wendi immigration mbra no but sɛ yɛ deport wam nkasa deɛ a it means sɛ wedi krono bi a ɔmo a sentence wo for at least 12 months or more nti na yɛ deport wo. Nti sɛ ɔmo bɔ krono na ebi a ɔmo bɛkyɛ wo sɛ oyɛ adwuma without nkrataa ɔmo yi wo kɛkɛ nti sɛ removal from ɔmo kurom anaasɛ ɔmo fie. Nti people misuse the term deportation and no so saa ɛwɔ hɔ. Nti if you don't have any deportation order and answer exclusion order dear, then at least they will see say you are suitable to make this application. Then they also want to know say signing partner urbano akola na or say oye akola of EU nina oti krom hano sa akola no so obetumi akyerɛ sɛ either say oya akola of sa EU ni no. Nti but most of the time the only original birth set to show the relationship between wo any EU national na oti krom hano dia, then we will say your DNA no at least will be able to prove that relationship because you have to prove that you are either a direct descendant and as a you're adopted or there, then you need to show the adoption documents to show say yeah adopted and see sa documents way in here to show that relationship between wo any EU near or krom ha. And see most of the time no say we DNA na not DNA no actually say ampa ɛyɛ ba anaasɛ ɛyɛ wo kunu ba anaasɛ ɛyɛ wo yere ɛba ampa. Then if it is a child under the age of 21 dear, usually there isn't any other requirement but we always suggest say sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ wohwɛ akwalaa no nti sɛ wobɛtumi de wo money remittance ɛne school letter hospital letter anaasɛ biribi ɛbɛka ho ama wɔn ahu sɛ ampa wo na wohwɛ akwalaa yi dear, then that's fine. There's no requirement say wotumi kyerɛ sɛ wobɛtumi ahwɛ akwalaa no in terms of money anaasɛ accommodation but all the time we advise people say momfa nka ho anyway for pay slips ka ho for bank statements ka ho for tenancy agreements ka ho sɛnea wobɛhu sɛ wo so woyɛ adwuma nti akwalaa ne ba a wobɛtumi ahwɛ no. Nti we always ask that you add those things but say akwalaa no ɛyɛ akwalaa a wedi over the age of 21 and answer we did 21 years or more, then it means say akwalaa no has to show dependency senya mekan you know. It is akwalaa no edi let's say 35 na kyerɛ sɛ akwalaa no still na because of the fact say the economy ɛwɔ Ghana no ɛnhyɛ da ɛnyɛ no nti akwalaa no wɔhwehwɛ adwuma saa ɔnyɛ bi da bia ɔfrɛ me sɛ mensɛnde ne sika anaasɛ n'adwuma no asɛe nti for the past 2 years ɔte fie ɔnyɛ adwuma no bi nti da bia me na ɛsɛ mema ne sika anaasɛ ne tenancy anaasɛ ne rent na ɔtua kakra mpo no ɛyɛ me ankasa ɛna metua saa ɛka no nti mesɛnde no sika no a ɔbɛhia ɛde atua ne tenancy anaasɛ ɔbɛtua ne rent no mede saa sika no ɛna de maa no ɛna sɛ ɛba no aduane ɛne deɛ ɔde bɛfa taxi anaasɛ trɔtrɔ no me ankasa na mede saa sika no ma no Into say money transfer receipts ɛwɔ hɔ a wobɛ send it and also. But nipa no ɔwɔ Ghana and also at least sɛ receipts bi wɔ hɔ in terms of ne T-Mobile, Mr. T-Mobile, MTN, and I say Tigo.
Vodafone.
Other phone companies no minimum doing, but they do have a way of getting statements from Momo. And also Sano say move to me and I know so now they account home. I know say Ghana dear Ukodruma, there's no way I'll be a receipts from Ubia or Tongue Adriania Mao. It's unheard of. And to say yeah, Chrome ha Uko shopper, they have to give you receipts. Unfortunately, yeah, Chrome no enters that into things like electricity bills. Sometimes and to your one some electricity bill into I know they will be to me a receipt. But so wo electricity bill, any water bill, ni na share rent ni more. Then the tenancy agreement should say rent na the electricity water bill will be bia eka ho into rent na wutu aye no. And I say rent na umami and I say papa edisika brewo no ni na ebum into no. And then if there is any other things that you pay for, and also sa no some woman will receipt now we keep here no because and also sa ebwa. And as I was saying, say only woman and as papa edi nkoma, you can always provide those WhatsApp communication into either say almost send you messages and also almost free or WhatsApp no so ni na no you can share it, you can screenshot it and then print it out as evidence say our relationship with and me name mama and me papa ewo into there is nothing I don't let them know nyama mu yɛ den a ɔmo ankasa ɛna ɔmo nim a metumi frɛ ɔmo yɛ situation na ɛwɔ kurom ha ayɛ so bad anaasɛ ayɛ den so much to the extent that there is almost nothing you can do sɛ wonni sika and sɛ edwuma no so sɛe a na abrabɔ mu ayɛ den nti saa evidence wey nyinaa you can show it through communication or whatever it is that you have so that someone who say yes ampa this person and I say akola wey we did 21 or more no or depending on the mommy so and I ne papa no so for the essential needs ohia bibi ote eduane obedi intade obehye all of those things including the shipping receipts wo yare crampo a omo no mo send you sika into hospital for no so able to actual letter to say and nipa we nim say ne mama and say ne papa e ma ne sika or tua ne bills and answer auditor edro into saa nyema we ni na so eboa in terms of the application as well. And then once you are able to establish the relationship, any dependency, and answer the fact that sa akolano EU nipa bana, then they would also look at whether they can grant you that 6 months family payment. So we'll free Ghana Air Bar, they have to grant you 6 months family payment under Appendix EU family payment no. Nti no so sa no na omo de sa leave no and I say sa visa no ahyɛ wo passport no senya wobetumi abɛjoin wo mama anasa wo papa a ɔte krom ha.
Joe lawyer, ebeda ase. We the mame be phone line say amanfo crash start here. We move further than mame fa call we na area yenko update. So hello, good morning. Welcome to Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Lawyer Eunice ewa ase oti. Hello. Oh, nipa na drop a call now. Mr. Ewa, mo amutie ye mo amohwe on Facebook so ye ma mo nyina mo so akwa ba. Mame momode na menye eye roll call kakra bi ewo wo mo amohwe ye BWF Solicitors eye Facebook o me hu ni say aboafo no edoso pa. All right. Good morning. Lawyer Eunice what has say to you. Hello, good morning. Ye mo akwa baba Rainbow Radio so.
Oh, good morning. We pacho me.
Pacho lawyer Eunice etiuna I am onesu kakra.
Okay, good morning, doctor, and good morning, lawyer Eunice. Me pacho, the question is the first one is Mati CTA no indefinite. Now per se we British book now. Instead of 10-year
route,
checking route, 10-year route. I mean 10-year character checking.
It
You
was
know,
the
my
last week. Yeah.
oh, okay, last week 19, you know, I think I still my 5 years, you know. For example, me now, you deported me some time ago. No, this year and say me 5 years now. Need me apply immediately after 5 years, you know, for the British book now.
Okay, and see last week, as part of your topic, I was discussing say, when it comes to year naturalization applications, not made the year updates, say, some no, usually say 10 years before obey application no say be a oba ha as an illegal immigrant into na oni nkrata o dey free another EU country and I buy and answer o dey nkrata na buy but wa buy overstayer e wo krom ha and answer omo de wo to immigration bill so and na undi that immigration bill no so which is within the 10 years before obey application now usually they would have refused the application because almost per se almost who say 10 years na apa ho ansa na obey naturalization application no and usually would have said say as part of good character requirements no say o make sure say 10 years na apa ho na wait to me yes naturalization application no but what they have introduced and say bia na we illegal immigrants and I said na first we overstayer na undi bɔne biara within the 5 years will qualify sɛ wokonya wo British citizenship nti usually no you have to show say oh 5 years legal residence and within that 5 years unto kwan more than 450 days ɛna wonya wo indefinite anaasɛ wonya wo settlement ɛna 12 months apa ho from the time a wonya wo indefinite anaasɛ wonya wo settlement no unto cry more than 90 days. Nti sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ wonyɛ bibi bɔne bia in terms of immigration nti you haven't gone to then kind of say not what bill so as a report it and they now have said say you no longer need to report if this was outside of that 5 year qualifying period then they would disregard say with the immigration bonibi into say if you came here illegally and I said obey overstay and I said na undi more immigration conditions no so almost say almost to me at their child say if within the 5 years I would be qualify by a British no undi bonibia dia they can just disregard it and then grant you your British naturalization certificate into
Yo,
sana in Brana.
line no so yeah hot pa ntino. Hello, good morning. Hello. Let me say yeah, yeah. Hello, good morning.
Na undi
Hello, Pacho. Tuni will radio no kakra kɔ from na yenya feedback kakra wa ha. Na busa question. Lawyer Eunice ayekrado.
Good morning, Dr. Rena. Good morning, Eunice.
Good morning.
morning.
With them, Pacho, you can tell them percent Sister Bako
Mm-hmm.
or the visitors this are the buy, but overstay kakra bear 2, 3, 4 years. Na worried Eunice now, and now I application under the Appendix EU. But then on my travel, they say offer evidence or residence evidence dated between June 2020 and December 2020. But then only BBS because of Biden crata, when it's money BBS, but then the entry stamp passport and no kwana or so maybe I say is there anything I obey my alpha kwana?
Nti what's the worry obi oye EU ni no. Nti da be no mo worry.
Oh, my worry I'm not why all the application now to more request for evidence of residence between June.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking that is because the reason why I'm asking is that esa otumi kire say or worry and answer obey and the family member before 31st December 2020.
Yes, no, a
It
family
is
member before 31st December 2020.
Okay. Into
Or
the
worry
one
before that.
evidence to show say they were living together into Abia Obetina Hanom no Nikunu Edinidin eto bill biso into Nikunu etua light bill or the Nidin ato sobi. ni kunu etua water bill a ɔde ne din atoto bi ne din ɛwɔ TV license bill bi so ɔmo wɔ insurance a ɛndeɛ ne kunu ɛde ne din aka ho bi so they just want something to show say ɔte kurom ha GP krampo betumi ama letter into they just want something to show say ampa no ɔne ne kunu ɛte kurom ha ɔmo te bom. That is the kind of evidence they are looking for because
Okay.
okay. To me share based on Appendix EU you say what's not krumha. So when to me and so then they cannot grant you leave, you know.
Okay, let me say we say quite the amount bisa for cohabitation though, or pay anything in the applicant, no, in name, in address also, which is dated in 2020 June and then 31st December 2020. But on one case as a person, the unusual and any consequence for the money joint at DBA, except say or entry stamp or just say or baha before 2020 no come here or more question. So now I was saying with that
they ask for specific time period. Almost be for evidence for a specific time period, Anna.
Yeah, just between June 2020 and then the 1st December 20, just to say said those times no Okuma say.
Yeah. It's the only GP.
Only be apart from that entry stamp or backuma for a stamp more the way how on call be.
Wait
now I was thinking obetime and ako.
Nana, wait there. Akoya a friend is saying a tino lawyer the number betuja na friend na church ni wuye na wunya time non diagnose the mouth na because BWF Solicitors there you best solve one time.
Me patch much.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Offer for a one so line no akati ewa lawyer wait the mamen call WhatsApp ne so na yemfa update nimbra. Obi said, please, lawyer, Eunice, Mr. Ofori and Miss Bauer have a child, but divorced and living separately. Now, the child normally lives with the mother. One day, Miss Bauer left the child alone and at home and went to cinema. Social services got the information and went to rescue the child. Fortunately, the mother arrived home to meet social worker and police with her child. The child has now been placed in the care of his mother's sister whilst court proceedings is ongoing. Father has no status. Mother has no status, but the child has a settled status under EUSS, which he derived from grandmother. Passport copies of parent and the child has been collected to check the status of all parties from Home Office. Can Mr. Ofori be arrested and removed for having no status while court proceedings is ongoing? Can the Home Office come to the court to pick up as overstaying is now criminal offense? Can a lawyer represent him in court in his absence due to sickness?
And see, Mr. Ofori, no, we can see, say, from that question, he is an illegal immigrant, but also he has a son based on EU settlement scheme, no. Sakolano ever indefinite leave to remain. It's definitely Mr. Ofori, no, even though he has committed an offense and the law is such that to me I'm an immigration bill and then he will be liable for removal. Sano, he may be removed. But even in that, so Osiki legal assistance as soon as possible to me at the application at home as the father of Akolano. Because Akolano will indefinitely leave to remain. Into Akolano able to me actually say me papa no oni asetena ewo krom ha but under your EU law appendix FM no because me papa obi a oni nkrata but ohwe me nti me grandmother ehwe me and me papa nso even though on me mama ense no me papa sometimes oba fear or talk inyama breme me ne me grandmother crampo enim say me papa no every birthday bia obe making sure say obedi me birthday ama me or to talk inyama or mommy grandmother sika sometimes send ya over to me e dey to be being so ama me into that father as well can make an application under appendix FM say here most direct fathers are able to make applications there or direct access into Mr. Otri no to me definitely over to me application no based on sa akolana we are indefinite no based on ni grandmother or EU settlement scheme na say.
Yo, with the phone line is why you busy point. With the Mr. Mobile na question no, my bonnet tough and not lawyer Eunice to me actually mu kama mamo. Now with me the update in so good morning, Empacho lawyer Eunice wa OTO question no.
Good morning. Lawyer, Mikra pre-settlement status me worry EU ni na mdini. Unfortunately, me know about for awo. Na me pese nka it's not media no tsunami ye be ma abofra na possible. The possible so a me nkrata na supporting documents very na also me use.
Into banka say krade.
Me yere ne de okuta EU passport no de ye ma me. Me fa na say me me concubine na ere awo akola do. Okura hanum birth certificate.
Okay, into Wobana initially because ne mama initially.
Bachai.
Into and it just Wobana onya 7 years. Onya 7 years and na to me I application for indefinite leave to remain. Into patro tina no so
With the delay mua. Nemo mbomadi ana friend lawyer after the program. Ebi ana questions ni answers ni go etwa so.
Okay.
Yo, yeah, that's it. Koswaneti Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Maminchia wo mo hwe na agima ehwe. Ohini David nso ehwe sana Docas Adom ehwe. Ohini David hwe all the way from Germany. Docas nso hwe na agima. Mesra, keep your questions coming. Why? Na MBA lawyer wa hasi obetimi eyi wo nsem ni nyina no ama. Lawyer, bajo to asumai.
Okay. In terms of updates, now obi the question no by and last week I was mentioning say as of 28th of June this year Borders and Nationality Act na Parliament no share MI no one of the amendments to British Nationality Act of 1981 and it says usually application now within the qualifying period would be application to naturalized as a British citizen. Now say ABA with the immigration breaches nibi into either that you came here illegally and I say what by overstay and I say we almost conditions nibi no. They would usually have refused your application within that 10-year period. But almost I can say 1 year bonebia within that 5-year qualifying period Nadia, they will disregard any immigration breaches no within that 10-year period. And see say if within a 10-year period before that 5-year qualifying period now with the naturalization no with the immigration bonibia, they will grant you your naturalization for the British citizenship. And say no is a good thing because usually people would have said, oh, and some may train more than 10 years and sana may record no actually say na me legal krom ha and I say me say na me wo asetna within a specific period and sana my me naturalization.
Lawyer,
But
we the
because
mesre wa so muka krama no. Course no the way eba no edoso. Facebook so questions be bring so eba. To the so mama me na me call your WhatsApp ne your numbers other lines ne so. We every missy wo. Also can I bring my nephew to UK? The dad is late. Mama if one so ehwe yen so na ni takin so ha Ezekiel so ha say. Hello, good morning. Lawyer Eunice Ewas in Pachobusa question lawyer in you are normal.
Hello, good morning, Lawyer Eunice. If I told you this is a call.
yeah, me I don't.
Yeah, no bad. Lawyer, if I told Obi a worry you our one family premise come her. Obetumi the DNA in Kwakopa Lima as Ghana Aba without birth certificate now. There's a problem with the birth certificate as at the moment. And so obetumi the DNA in Kwa any chart, any money transfer Akopa Naba without birth certificate now, lawyer. Thank you.
Of
Yo,
course.
that's it. Young question back on
Obetumi.
na lawyer, so would you now from you boom na answer mommy any day mommy say what?
Okay.
Good morning, lawyer Eunice say to you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Doc. Hi. Hello, lawyer Eunice. Me pasa me di me niece and me nephew, but I'm a British citizen. But me pasa, I just want to know how to go about it. And me pasa, penina me pasa me de bano. He's about 12 years. And see, I don't know. I'm so confused. How do I go about it? And what are the requirements?
Where do you need how cry?
But I want to start question about nephew, Nana.
Okay, so I have to contact them, isn't it?
No, listen. Lawyer busa question. Me say, when I busa about nephew, you know WhatsApp, Nana.
I am here.
Okay. Yeah, I've now. Okay. It's me who question. I wasn't sure that we are British near and said
Hello, Dr. Ren.
Hello, but lawyer, you are normal, but you're tinka.
Missing a friend, missing in coffee,
You.
And that's how we say what radio no so.
Okay, but for phone it to so lawyer answer no. Mama, why?
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. In regards to the nephew now, person or the neighbor no. First of all, let me say akwala parents ever here. Say ne papa who are ne mama so ever here. Say if she's saying say ne papa and ne mama any ho, mama no age akwala no ho, and ne papa who in see say ultimately de akwala and eba krom ha dia, then I'll ask her to go and do a custody order. Say papa ewu na obi eni ho a wetumi ahwe akwala no ewo Ghana dia and the onko Ghana no nkoji custody order say akwala no abeye ne ba nti say ono na ohwe akwala ne didie mu ne bibie mu no ono na ohwe akwala no. Nti with that custody order we be share your immigration rules under your paragraph 276 when it comes to applications. Is it 276 297 no, it will comes to applications for children senya nkola no ebetumi adjoin omo relatives anasa omo mame anasa omo papa ewo krom ha. They look at whether sa mame anasa papa no anasa sa relative no ewo either British citizenship anasa settlement ewo krom ha. With that, that child is able to then make an application saying say or by joining no mommy and asking papa and asking relative ever chrome her. If the relative can show say they are related. Also akwala ne mami anasa ne papa no so ume free a obetire sa evidence no so our custody order nso so obetire say our custody order say ono na ohwe akwala no, and then she will have to be able to show say obetumi ahwe no in terms of ne didie mu ne bibie mu nti she can maintain him adequately. It means ebia oye juma nti ne juma na oye no so oyi ne rent ni free ma or more than enough money a obetumi ade ahwe ne ho ne akwala ne nyinaa based on income support rates na mo de ma mama for and papa for any nkwala no work from her. Her income has to be equal to that income support rate. And then she also has to show say obetumi enya dan mu ama natna into say ebia ne flat a otim 1 bedroom flat but or living room. She can convert that living room into a bedroom saying akola no so ebetumi enya baby so ada. Into when it comes to making those applications patcho bebre say say ya obey na dia and me the numbers no ebeto dra any address no say ya obetumi aba SK for more advice and I say so per say your application on somehow na yetumi ayama.
Yo, with the lawyer, for no man not to a super command, maybe I will come baby I want you on a preco na umbra.
Patch you. And see your office telephone number is 0208 493 7340. Into 0208 493 7340. Say open nyakasame number senya say offer out of office hours wobɛtumi anya me a 075 35 81 3910. It's 075 35 81 3910. So offer your office line now person book appointments are on way to me a book appointment amount for Monday to Friday. You usually know your offices need be from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Into so offer you be from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Send your own way to me a book appointment amount.
Yo, lawyer, but that's not young call and one so. And the Pacona will be said, obey you DNA a money transfer. And so the question, no.
Okay.
Yo,
It's
hello,
I
good
know
morning.
say
Lawyer, sorry, you for we na fat question in a boom na answer. But your lawyer Eunice 80.
Good morning, Lawyer Eunice.
good morning.
Because of the thing with that question, we are British, and now I should be a British. Now, we call holiday. Now, acquiring you, I say, oh, my living oh, Ghana for 3 weeks. And you know, Mr. Sam, then echo. Now, the number. Now, acquire the one.
It's so usually we have Fajote.
Acquire 2 years. Yeah,
Okay.
holiday.
Now you be sasa what say menka.
I'm a soul kappa.
Okay. Nti say we are British ni na onana opesa wo did to kwanya. You can travel with that child, but I always say it's better for the parents to write a consent letter. Senya udru baby no mu bisa say akola no eh hwan bad. You have a consent letter from the parents themselves. Nti usually no say eba ne say oko airport na mu bisa say akola we or ye hwan a, then you provide a consent letter with a copy of ne mame ID. Nti sɛ ne maame twerɛ consent letter sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ wo ne akwadaa no to kwan ɛkɔ Ghana for 2 weeks 3 weeks na ɔde ne passport copy no attach a ɛboa. And then you can always add a copy of akwadaa ne birth cert no just in case they need that evidence sɛ akwadaa ne maame ɛyɛ hwan, because sɛ birth cert no wɔ hɔ a akwadaa ne maame din ɛwɔ so, consent letter no so ɛbɛkyerɛ ne maame ne din. So always have a copy of akwadaa ne birth cert ɛne a consent letter with a copy of ne mami ID to show say ubetumi ne akwala no etu kwan. Oh, you don't need that. But so person would birth cert ne ka ID no ho there, then that's fine. But akwala na kasa ne birth cert na make ho asem.
Okay.
Yes, you're that continuity Rainbow Radio, my mommy person in an alcohol holidays. Lawyer, DNA, any money transfer, meet me the aqua me many naba, or friend for back or friend. The question and will be son.
Yes, in terms of DNA no, say only birth sets and I say birth sets now no, because I know say with Ghana no, on back I shall say koye biometric birth sets ni bi. Into koye BBI say koye biometric birth sets ni bi. Into sometimes they don't do things properly. Into say birth sets no mistake be aba na on person will be use birth sets no na o person will use so DNA no nko a, that is sufficient because all you are showing is the relationship. Omo person who say ampa we way ba and I say ampa we nana and I say ampa we ne mame and I say ne papa. Into the evidence of relationship no birth set and I said DNA evidence. Into say to me and birth set there and the DNA evidence no so ebeboa. It is all about what evidence you can use to show that the relationship is what you say it is. Into so birth sets, I mean only birth sets no with DNA and they are over to me and you see DNA no.
Jo, lawyer, where the na ibeko update ne subim na ye dia mate for.
Patriu. Into yes, like I was saying, when it comes to our naturalization applications, that is one of the things that are amended in terms of nkɔfoɔ edi immigration bɔne bi a hwɛ sɛnea bɛtumi ayɛ naturalization applications ntɛm. And then when it comes, last week I was mentioning, so when it comes to your general applications, no, I know, say for one reason or the other, no, sorry, one reason or the other, no, when it comes to delays in bebree, I can say they know said there are delays in terms of the applications, and someone call your application and more saying ya to me enya quick response. Of course, so was the kind of way to me to for priority service to for priority service and ya to me enya answer in time. But say Unisasi Canada, they are processing the applications much more quickly than before. But they are not changing processing times. No, it is still the same as it was about 2 months ago. Into say train for application, yeah. I know say they are beginning to respond to applications now. What hot did that into say application I could do on chain, let's say 9 months, 12 months. Now, chain saying response. They are starting to respond to those applications into they are working on them because I've received a lot of responses from them. Whether your application in the UK and now say outside of the UK, they are beginning to
Yo.
respond to those applications, no, in time. Into that is also another thing. And then I
Lawyer,
also
and
want to
yeah,
mention
so what do you kakra? When we say time
Pachi.
check now, there two past the hour 10. Mr. Wababin for offer for we now. Hello, good morning, lawyer Eunice. What I say?
Morning, doctor. Any lawyer Eunice. Na me Samoni lawyer Eunice ni mo pa mo yebo my Ghana for you will come. Me patch your question back could be na person brutal lawyer Eunice. We dey enye yibia Mrs. Wale Eunice. Na be 6 months ni adwuma sem be man said anya adwuma na yama obani mfie nu no osro se e bia be man adwuma say ni mu no se wan okodi e beka se wanya adwuma continuous emre bi bi tu ni hu ni pa bi sa 2016 ni mu ye ka se ni fa na anya adwuma Christmas you know ya mfa nde fitina man ye man another 5 years this will cover bi into ko hu obi no bi say Sadia one year self employment na cover saga bona edem in case say in future no they could J as a train fin in this one. And I miss Osimi Musa lawyer Eunice man say and no on close to gab no co register self employment na on close to another on sanko pe ejuma fofro and ye no fan twas na gab in them when I'm seeing
Okay.
Eunice.
Into their na that for the catch no, it was applicable at that time. Into na no correct time na or yet the application no. But because this year Appendix EU and I say EU settlement scheme as no, the requirements are totally different. Into say we EU ni and I say we EU ebusu ni dia. There is no requirement say we trust we a qualified person. At first no say just say you're a qualified person as just say either say you're juma and I say you're self-employed and I say you're student and I say self-sufficient person with comprehensive sickness insurance. But to see there is no requirement like that. And when I say just say you know what's not a chrome half for a period of 5 years or more and I say what's not hand for less than 5 years. Into say wait to me actually they say ne kunu atena ha for 5 years, then they would grant. So unto me enkyerɛ sɛ ne kunu atena ha for that 5 year period ne dia na asɛm akɔba ho. Before no, when it comes to even things like naturalization, ɔmo bɛbisa sɛ na wo kunu ɛyɛ adwuma anaa, and those are the kind of things they will ask in terms of with naturalization because they want to know say obemiti sa EU embrano as it was at the time. But of course, because the new Appendix EU is only based on acetinano, the fact that nipa chrono etumi actually say watna have for that continuous period, without any gaps. Into gaps, no, etumi within a given year, into within 12-month period, say if for instance wo kyerɛ sɛ wetu kwan wenya 5 years wetu kwan more than 6 months within every 12 months anaa krampo sɛ wenya wo settlement wetu kwan more than 5 years deɛ they can say said those have broken your continuous residence. But sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ there's no gaps in the continuous residence there and deɛ wobɛtumi akɔnya ne indefinite no pɛpɛɛpɛ.
Joe, with the ebedasi na koswati Rainbow Radio, MIA. Lawyer, with the ye wrap it up, no. Na with the update name my no.
Factory, you. That's the very Dr. Ren. It's a last but not the least, in terms of applications for Nkolana, Abia, Omo Atna Ekromha for a continuous period of 7 years or more. And I say Omo Atna Ekromha, Omo Baye, Tamamoyan Kola, they are still under the age of 25, but over the age of 18. When it comes to those applications, as much as possible say akwala no ha now we did 7 and I say we did more than 7 now per se application for indefinite emana still na a kwan e wo ho a obetumi aye sa application no ama akwala no enya ne indefinite no straight away as long as you can show say akwala no won wo ha watena ha for a continuous period and there's no reason and I say will be unreasonable says akwala no obe free chrome ha asan akọ ekro bi so nti ɛno no saa no sɛ woyɛ application na woyɛ a direct immigration indefinite leave to remain application no ama saa akwadaa no and then when it comes to yɛn nkwadaa no a yɛde ɔmo baa yɛ time ɔmo sa no sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ saa akwadaa no ɔda so ɛyɛ under the age of 25 but ebia within more than 18 watena ha continuously with legal status for a period of 5 years nti ɔbɛtena ha no onya 2.5 wasan ama no another 2.5 but sisi no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔgye ne indefinite wate sɛ ɔmo bɛtumi ama ne indefinite after 5 years whereas before no a 10-year period nti onya 2.5 for a continuous period of 10 years ansa na wetumi enya no indefinite but sisi adeɛ no they're saying so as long as you can show say what's not her with legal status and I say lawfully for that continuous 5-year period no say oh yeah application na so call your life in the UK ni be so call your English language the only GCSE and I say A level la so call your English language test ni be senya omo to me ama indefinite leave to remain based on the fact say oh you're under the age of 25 but above the age of 18 in sa nkola we nyina ebe to me aye applications for indefinite leave to remain in the UK. I know say application no boy den kakra is over £2,400 but so banning indefinite there are so many benefits to it including the fact say I will follow so able to me age na akwala no so and the rest of it nti sɛ yɛ wonim obi anaasɛ wonim sɛ obi so ebetumi enya mfaso bi efiri ɛno nso hɔnom a na wama saa nipa no nso ehu sɛ sei na sei ɛna ɛɛkɔ Dr. Ren nyame nhyira sɛ wode mbrɛ no bi nso akyɛ yɛn
Na lawyer, obi bisa sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ohum akyira kwan a ɛhɛmfa na mowɔ na telephone numbers bɛn ɛna obi betumi afrɛ mu na warekyɛ mu.
Fashion nti yɛwɔ Seven Sisters nti yɛ building ɛbɛn Seven Sisters Underground Station in Impere. The address is the 4th floor of Anna House nti yɛwɔ 4th floor of Anna House 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road no so London postcode ɛyɛ N15 4NP N15 4NP so wopɛ sɛ wofrɛ yɛn na wobook your appointment a yɛ telephone number 0208 493 7340 it's 0208 493 7340 your BA offices from Monday to Friday 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. sɛ wofrɛ yɛn na wopɛ sɛ wobuki Zoom appointment so a wofrɛ yɛn main office line a yɛbɛtumi nso ebuki Zoom appointment so ama wo. In terms of me ankasa me number no nso ɛyɛ 075 35 81 3910 into 075 35 81 3910 into say nyame boa nso a dasɛndɛ na yɛtumi ahyia biom.
Yo, lawyer Eunice Bedasi. Inti bomodiana Shannon so. So BWF Solicitors there, omo ye proud, ye preferred community lawyers. Wama boy and for many years, almost 30 years, a lawyer Ben, and a lawyer Eunice ne ebusia for mo nyina. Inti bomodiana Shannon so. Every Thursday be 9 a.m. pepepe. Ekusi 10 a.m. pepepe. You know mo twetwe nkomo. A free legal education. They be ameka say, let us take opportunity and advantage. Ni embusa questions. Saa pocket lawyers na ɔmo na mantem no mbɔmmɔden amfa wɔwerɛ ne wɔ okra nkɔnkɔhyɛ mu because any mistake that you can make Moses near so the 40 days and the 2 kwan do a 40 years. Sometimes certain mistakes be will make here. Now afraid they are costal. Ade na esen can take you 2 years now nya on krata wunya we indefinite. Now afraid wakwa akone na mkofo no sa na eja akwa akwache. Making sure say only BWF solicitors for every a year in Kitan so no mutimi aboa e won krata se munyinem. And na no pain so ye da munyina amase. You say Thursdays we are no obene ebedi nkomo. Thank you. Yanko anywhere.
Irene say, please, my husband did applications for my children, and it has been refused 3 times based on handwritten birth certificates. Is that an opportunity to do appeal or fresh application? Okay, and say, Irene, because I don't know what application he was making, whether it was EU there and answer based on the fact that Mukra limited leave to remain under the immigration rules and answer Okra indefinite leave to remain and answer Okra British citizenship. I'm not sure which application was made, but if it's a family application, they always give rights of appeal. And so per se, yeah, appeal sumawa, then you need to bring the refusal decision, any documents, no, to your offices, saying you're able to me, ashrim advisable in order to proceed. Into say a appeal there, we need to see the documents in order for you to make the right step in the next direction. Into definitely appeal a option back also to me a use so. Question where a visa say if you are on care work visa and you have over 10 years dependent needs and Ghana, I'm thinking say needs needed 10. Can you add her to your children? Kindly educate me. Into say oh work permit visa, they only allow for you to bring wo yere anasa ukunu anasa oba, your dependent child directly related to you. So a niece, unfortunately, no, she's seen to not be a direct relative and as a dependent. In say no, no, sir, no, you would have to think otherwise. And so, unfortunately, the niece will not qualify under the skilled worker dependent route. No, it's please, if you are thinking about bringing on no dear so when to me and just or your direct dependence on you there, then unfortunately they would not be able to allow her to come because usually they are looking to see whether you have sole responsibility or you both parents are here in the UK and are bringing the child, or as it is, they are looking to see if the other parent has basically absconded and the two of you are saying say maybe a mayor am worrying no and yeah akola ne mame but yeah na yehwe akola no. So it is also important say will be to me actually Zayema way in terms of making the application for a dependent child under the skilled work route. Smith Mercy or say I was patiently listening to her explanation on the naturalization before she was cut short. What now? When it comes to naturalization applications, no, she's also asking, say, is the character requirement for naturalization now limited to 5 years instead of 10 years? In terms of the naturalization applications, usually no your name said when it comes to good character requirements, no, and immigration breaches, because there are so many good character factors are almost rare, but this is in particular to immigration breaches in abia say ubaha illegally, and I say abia ubaha because you were a person who has overstayed wonya setena ɛna wabɛyɛ overstay a anaasɛ ɔmo ma wo immigration bill bi ɛna wo breachy conditions ne bi. When it comes to those applications, no, almost say if you haven't been in breach of any of those conditions within the qualifying 5 year period, then it means that wow, oh yeah, applicants, no. So oh yeah, application now you can basically show say because of that bonina would be within the 10 year period na na say bonina would be before the 5 year period, no, you are now able to make an application. Into before it would have been 10 year period for you to be able to make that application for naturalization because you want to know says that 10 year period na pa ho. But now they're saying say if there has been no breaches within that 5 year period, na with me your application, no. Into now it's not the 10 year period like before. Into after your 5 year qualifying period, you can go ahead and make an application to naturalize as a British citizen. Into yes, you can now go ahead and make an application after a 5 year qualifying period if you are not in breach of any of those immigration decisions, no, and I say in breach of those immigration laws, no, then you can go ahead and make that application. Okay, into I think so that was the last question. You bet and the hopefully no that's in there you be saying Asia biom. Medamunina ase yame enkramo enshramunina. Bye bye.
Yɛyɛ fɛ ma yɛwɔ London. Yɛagye abasobɔdeɛ bebree. Na yɛaredare ɛwɔ mmaransɛm mu. Ɛyɛ legal services, bi te sɛ family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wɔ BWF deɛ, yɛn solicitors ɛde anigyeɛ ɛna twitwagye woɔ, na yɛboɔ nso nyɛ den koraa. Yɛn partner panin paa, Bernardo Wusu ayɛ lawyer ɛwɔ UK memu bɛburu mfie 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wɔn ho. Nti sɛ ba na ebusuansɛm bi te sɛ child care, ɛyɛ abɔfra hwɛ mu, awaregya yɛ ho twema mentwe, ɛne ɔhyɛ anaa injunction a yɛde to domestic violence so a, yɛmma wo legal assistance a ɛdi mu na yie adwuma nso. Yɛn child care ɛne family team no nim nea wofa mu ɛwɔ nea ɛyɛ wɔ bere yi mu. Ɛno nti na yɛto yɛn bo ase ma wafoto a ɛsɛ fata ɛwɔ kokoa mu. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agyina to mu na ɔsan so yɛ member na kyerɛ sɛ ɛba no sɛ yɛgyina w'akyi ɛretwitwa agye wo ɛwɔ family ɛne matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw koraa. Wopɛ advice ɛwɔ immigration nsɛnsɛm ho. Wɔ BWF Solicitors deɛ, yɛn immigration team no avedare ɛwɔ general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho ntotoyɛ, any entry clearance visas, family visas, ni appeals. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ member na wasan gyina tom ɛwɔ Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Nti sɛ yɛtae w'akyi a, wonni haw koraa. Yɛbie yɛn office free dwada ekosi fiada, anɔpa nɔnkron pɛɛ mu ekosi enumere nonsia, ɛyɛ 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM. Ɛna memene nso ɛyɛ appointment nkoa. Free anɔpa nondu ekosi ewia no 9, ɛyɛ 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yɛwɔ 4th floor ɛwɔ Anna House, 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. sɛ wonnante firi 7 Sisters Underground nso a ɛyɛ kwan tiaa bi. Yɛn senior partner Bernard Owusu san yɛ barrister yɛagye no to mu na ɔyɛ Ghana Bar Association member ɛna wasan gyina sɛ mmaranimfoɔ ɛwɔ court cases a ɛfa Ghana law ho. Wa advise local authorities, official solicitors office ne solicitors bebree ɛfa Ghanaian law ho yie. Na ɔsan yɛ obi a ɔtae kasa ɛwɔ radio ɛne TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.